All right. Welcome, everyone. Super excited to have you guys here on this evening. We're going to be talking about a project that I'm so flat out excited about. Had an opportunity to go over to Dubai and really learn some really powerful things about analyzing smart contracts and different projects. And we had an opportunity when I was in Dubai to really look at up close and dissect 3 different big projects. And this was the one that I found the most exciting and had the most upside for what we're doing. And you're going to see exactly what I mean by upside. The name of this project is called Infinity Quantum Mining. And guys, it's just absolutely exploding. We have only been mining for the last 3 days. Today is the 4th day. And I'm going to share with you what that means for you. I sent this out to many of you. Did you have your money grow by 14% yesterday? Now, this was 2 days ago that I sent this to you guys, and you can see that it was up over 14%. Again, today is up over another 14%. So in 2 days, that's over 28%. So I want you to think about, where your money is at right now and how is it growing. Now, before I get into any of this, I want you to understand that today's session is not intended for financial nor tax advice. The purpose of our private session here today is to educate you, our attendees, on the various products and services that we have that could be a solution to your. Let me make sure that we get everybody muted here, if that's okay. Just keep them down. We got to get some people muted there. And my co-host will make sure that you mute everybody while we're going. That we're going to share with you some information that might be a solution to your personal situation. Should you decide to move forward, please consult your own financial experts. So before we jump into it today, I'm going to talk about some of the problems that we see in the cryptocurrency space. This isn't our first rodeo, right? But I'm going to share with you guys some of the things, and you can let me know if you've noticed this. Some of the problems that we see in the cryptocurrency space as we're looking at different projects is some of these projects are on centralized platforms. They are also are subject to different regulations. There's some of them that have rug pulls, meaning that you put all this money into a centralized platform and you keep pumping it up. And before you know it, boom, it's gone. You get the 404, right? So that's considered a rug pull. Or some of them are pump and dumps, meaning they'll tell you that, oh my goodness, this coin or this thing is going to go to the roof, and you get in and you start, you're like all excited. You're holding these coins, and guess what they do? Poof, dump millions of coins on your head, right? You're left with coins that are worthless, right? And some of the projects, they just run out of liquidity. Let's just be honest. Some of them just absolutely just run out of liquidity. And some of them are the prices manipulated by the owner. We were in a project and we couldn't understand how the token price kept going up and up and up, and it wasn't for sale anywhere. There was nothing going into it to make the price go up and down. We found out that the owners of that particular platform was actually manipulating the price. What I'm going to do, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I normally don't like this, but I'm going to put where we won't unmute because I want to have a clean copy today. The other thing is, let's face it, how do we get our eyes on these projects early on, like really early on? That's a problem that comes up, right? We don't know if this is really early on. The last one is the sustainability and longevity of the program. Many of these programs get started and they're out of business before they even get going, right? So, so that is one of the issues that we often find. And then I'm going to couple that with network marketing in the marketing space. The reason that there's some problems in the network marketing is that most of the time they require people to do auto ships or monthly fees. And let's be honest, if you're required to do a monthly fee or auto ship, I'm going to stop some videos if you're moving about. So just if you're moving around, please just turn your video off. We want to make sure everybody can just stay focused. Let's face it, if you have an auto ship or monthly fees and things get tight and it's between you paying your rent or your mortgage, what are you going to do? You're going to stop that auto ship, right? Another thing that happens in network marketing space is that the company tries to hold you hostage. And I'll tell you this, as you get higher up in these different programs, and you have a big organization, they'll come to you and they'll tell you cannot promote anything else. You're not allowed to go out and tell anybody about anything else. They kind of hold you hostage. The company is centralized, meaning it's all in one place. And if they go out of business, so does your income. And guess what else they can do? Once they see that you're making a lot of money, and a lot of these companies, MLM companies, are owned by what we call the suits. They're not people that have been out in the field before. So they start seeing you make a lot of money. Guess what they do? They change the marketing plan. They say, oh, this leg is going to be excluded now. Or we're going to take this leg and put it over here. They just change the marketing plan so you're making less and less because they feel that they're paying you too much for what you're doing. The company is again centralized and is open to legal regulations. Sometimes you'll see maybe you're promoting a product and a service and it's going crazy, and then next thing you know, boom, there's a legal regulation, that comes up, and oh no, you can't promote that anymore. You can't say that it heals these pains and these aches anymore. The other thing is that in order to make money really in a network marketing company, you got to share and recruit others in order to make money. And most people are not that good at sharing and recruiting, right? There's another big thing. You have to wait weeks and weeks from the time you make a sale for the money to get into your hands. And let's face it, it requires a lot of time and energy to stay active in a lot of these programs. And there's a very high turnover rate, causing you to have to start over and over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, what if all of these objections could be eliminated? What if there was an ecosystem where 100% of the liquidity was already locked? It was locked into the program as soon as you purchase a mining package. What if you could get 360% back from your original purchase price? What if it was verified that the admin keys have been abandoned, thus making it actually rug pull proof, meaning they could not come in and make any changes and pull the money? What if there was only 70 million tokens ever, and these tokens were actually deflationary, meaning over time there was less and less of them available due to the burning of it? Very similar to Bitcoin, less and less at the halving. So you know how Bitcoin is. It's only going to make this much every time it has, right? What if it was a fair launch with no pre-minted or developmental tokens given out, meaning the owner or the developers, no one had any tokens. You had the exact same opportunity as everyone else. They couldn't dump tokens on your head. That meaning there's no well manipulation. No one can come in and just buy up a whole bunch of tokens. And then all of a sudden your tokens are worthless. What if you knew the sustainability and longevity of this project was locked in for 10 years by UNCX? UNCX is a very, very reputable company that locked the liquidity of Ethereum. What if your company did the same for 10 years and it was verified? What if there was no KYC and no VPN needed? It was totally decentralized, meaning you work in an autonomous environment. How excited would you be if you could get all of these things? No recruiting, no monthly fees. All of that was all put in here for you. Would you lean in just a little bit more? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have our hands on. Introducing Infinity Quantum Mining. That and a lot more is available to you. Now, everybody knows, and I'm not going to go deep into this because many of you have been with me for quite some time, that there's an evolution going toward Web 3.0. Okay, there was Web 1.0. Most of the things that we're looking at right now are 2.0, but we're moving toward 3.0. And then it's a decentralized environment where it's an autonomous, where you can actually work with no one knowing that you're there. You don't have to answer to anyone. You have the power and the right to make your own decisions with your own money. We're going to be talking about money right now, but it's going to be the same thing with your own space, with your own image and likeliness when you get into 3.0. So many of these type of sites and things are popping up in the Web 3.0 because that's what people want. They want control. They don't want to be manipulated or censored or any of that, or told what they can and cannot do with their money. And that's what we're moving into, and we're super excited. The Web 3.0 of Infinity Pi is absolutely fantastic. We're right at the beginning stages of this, guys, with our D apps, the different apps that we're having. They're having an NFT and metaverse coming out. They're going to do decentralized financing, meaning that you'll be able to have, exchange money and not worry about, oh my goodness, I got to go through a bank. I got to do this and that. And one of the biggest ones, this is the very next one coming out, is their gaming. They already have some games that they've been out testing right now. And they just want you to know that the people who put this smart contract together were gamers. So a lot of the language that you're going to hear tonight, you're going to hear gaming. It's going to say the player, or when you are eliminated, when this, that, and the other. So you just understand that it came from that gaming industry. Understand gaming is over $1 billion industry. And you have an opportunity tonight to participate. Well, we're going to talk about the quantum mining system tonight, though. We're not going to get into all the gaming and all of that tonight, just the quantum mining, which is the 2.0 phase that you're in right now. And this is where you're going to be able to create a very transparent and sustainable cycle that goes over and over and over again. That's very fair. So again, we're going to be moving from centralized to decentralized. In a centralized environment, all your funds are sent to a certain platform. That platform controls everything. They control the entire system. They control the transactions. They control the withdrawals. And pretty soon, what do you see? A 404, the maintenance page, right? And they're out of business. It's all centralized, and they're gone with the money. Here, we're going to be talking about going to a 100% decentralized platform. And it's the one that we're going to be using. Is called Pancake Swap. 100% of the deposits here are going to go into Pancake Swap. No one owns Pancake Swap. The only thing that you have to do is you're going to be able to go in there and you're going to get 100% of your withdrawals anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's nobody that can tell you when and when you cannot take a withdrawal. So it's very, very transparent, and we absolutely love it. And here's some more characteristics of why they chose Pancake Swap to use. And guys, very, very powerful. Many of you already know about Pancake Swap, so I don't need to go into all the details of that. But that is really a decentralized environment. So we're going to share with you how our system works, okay? You're going to start out with a decentralized wallet, such as Token Pocket. That's the one we recommend you start with. Token Pocket, it can be Trust Wallet, it can be SafePal, MetaMask. I don't really recommend MetaMask, but you can use it. But if you say, let's start with your Token Pocket wallet. You sign up for Token Pocket, download the Token Pocket, and then you're going to put some crypto capital into your Token Pocket. USDT on the Binance Smart Chain. And a little bit of BNB for gas fee, right? Tiny bit, $1 or so. When you do that, you're going to actually attach your wallet to the smart contract, which is attached to Pancake Swap. And that's going to go out and it's going to buy you what is called a quantum mining machine. That quantum mining machine every single day, 365 days out of the year, 24/7 is going out and is mining you tokens, creating you some Infinity Pi tokens, Infinity tokens. Those Infinity tokens will come back and you can swap them in Pancake Swap. And then you're going to be able to, that money that you get, swap it for USDT, goes back into your decentralized wallet, and it goes over and over again. Every time you purchase a quantum mining machine, 100% of the money is in Pancake Swap, and it's locked. Liquidity is locked. So, you know, sometimes people say, well, gosh, I want to understand, how can I pay that? How can we get paid? And I'm going to show you guys what we get paid every day. You're going to understand and why they set the system up, and they're just absolute geniuses. You can see here that the player funds are stored openly and transparently on Pancake Exchange. We did a one today for $2,000. We sold one for $2,000 today, a $2,000 quantum mining machine. Immediately, I had my Aave.io open, and immediately, as soon as the person pushed purchase on or sign up on their phone, we saw it immediately right on Aave.ai. Absolutely transparent. 100% of the money went boom, right into liquidity. That is absolutely fantastic. And you guys will understand why. And why did I just mention Aave.io, Aave.ai? This is a decentralized on-chain platform. It goes out and it really analyzes data on 25 different blockchains. It pretty much goes out and gives you reports on what's happening in DeFi projects, GameFi, tokens, and it'll give you warning signals. It'll also tell you what's happening. And it does like an audit for you of that particular project. And it'll tell you if it's safe, more accurate, more professional, and those type of things. So here's what it did. It does like a risk analysis check. And it did that on our contract address on the Infinity Pi contract. And these are the things that came back. I'm not going to read them all, but I want you to understand it came back at a score of 20. 20 is the lowest that you're going to get. It's never going to tell you there's zero risk, okay, in any project. But 20 is the lowest. And we got the lowest score. Low is good. The lowest score when it comes to risk, okay? And these are a couple of reasons why. The permission and you can transfer your funds, and a whitelist cannot be set, meaning they cannot say, hey, don't pay this particular person, or this address is out. Cannot do that. You can transfer your tokens with you don't need anybody's permission to transfer your tokens. The one thing that we love here is that the contract is open source, but the owner cannot manipulate the balance. The owner has they can't go and say, oh, make this price that right now so people will buy. They cannot manipulate it, because guess what, guys? The admin privileges have been abandoned. The admin privileges have been abandoned, meaning they've thrown away the key on the actual smart contract right now. So they cannot go in and make any modifications to the actual smart contract, okay? And they cannot retrieve those keys. And you'll see, I'm going to show you guys live where you can go and look at this at aave.ai, where you can see that. And it also tells you in there that the liquidity has been locked for 10 years. And it'll tell you the start date and the end date, meaning the owner can't go in there and take the money and run. It's locked. It is. I told you earlier who is locked by that UNCX. And the great thing about that, there's no transaction cooldown mechanism, meaning you can't say, hey, I want to get a withdrawal, and they tell you, oh no, you got to wait for 3 days or 24 hours. No, immediately. If you want to withdraw, it's there. Just withdraw. It's there. 100% of your liquidity is already in the pot, right? And so that's what's really cool. And they cannot issue additional tokens. What they have set is set. And that is really, really great. So I'm going to let you guys see that. I'm going to put it out, the link to that. We'll go to that live, and I'll put it out there at the end. So you might say, well, all of that does sound good, but how do I get involved? How do I make money? That sounds good for the company. They did all of those things, and good for the people that are already in. But what about me? So how you can get involved is you can decide let me just say this. You cannot buy these tokens on the market. If you go and try to buy it, there's 100% burn fee if you try to buy it. So don't try to buy it. The only way you can get it is you have to purchase what is called a quantum mining machine. And we have 4 different ones for you to choose from. One is 500 USDT. It'll mine at 0.7% every single day. You'll get that until you get 3.6 times or 360%, which in other words, 500 is going to turn into 1,800. 1,000 is the next miner. It'll mine at 0.8% a day. Again, it'll run until it goes to 3.6 times, 360%. 2,000 USDT at 0.9%. And then 5,000 USDT at 1% a day will mine until you get 18,000. Now, what I love about this, and you might say, well, gosh, I was talking to a gentleman earlier that he said, Marshandi, last night you said somebody might say, well, 0.7% isn't that sexy a day. He said, why don't you tell them to put their money, that same 500 in a bank, and see how much they get for the whole year? I said, I understand. But we've conditioned people to think that, oh my God, I got to get this 2.something% a day or 3% a day. But here's what's cool about this. This is static and dynamic, meaning that you're going to get a certain number of tokens or worth of tokens every day. But those tokens are going up in value. Remember at the beginning of the presentation, I showed you that the value of the token went up 2 days in a row at 14%, over 14% a day. So if you receive tokens the first day, you got an extra 14% increase. And then the next day, if you're still holding those tokens, which you don't have to, you can cash them in if you want. But if you're still holding them, you got another 14%. That's not included in your 3.6%. So ladies and gentlemen, if you do a 5,000 5,000 miner, you're going to eventually probably get way more than 18,000 back. Because remember, it's static and dynamic. So for example, if a user invests 5,000 in a quantum machine, their daily, let me turn this down, their daily static income is worth 50 U every day. No matter what, it's going to go out and it's going to produce 50 U every day. But that 50 U, meaning $50, 50 USDT worth of Pi tokens, the next day, if you get 14% increase on that, it's not worth 50 anymore, right? Now you're talking about it's worth, 55. And maybe the next day when that grows again, it's not worth 50 anymore from the prior day, it's now worth 60. The longer you hold on, right? The longer you hold on the possibility of this thing growing. And I'm going to tell you, when I first heard this and started looking into this project, they were talking about, oh, it's going to cross $1,000. And I'm like, wow, I'm never going to say that in my presentations. I'm never going to say that. But I'm going to tell you what, they have got me really convinced that it's going over $100 sooner than later. And I'm going to show you guys why when we go to the tokenomics of it. So that's the way that you can get started. Very passive. Purchase a mining machine, select one of these 4 mining machines, let it go to work. It'll go to work for you. You don't ever have to do anything else but decide when you want to cash it out. You want to let it ride your 5,000 till it gets to 18,000, your 360%. You can do that and then come back, and it's totally passive, right? You do the 5,000, you set it up, takes less than 5 minutes, set it up. It's set up, it goes out and it mines for you every single day. Nothing you need to do. Totally passive. 5,000, you look up, you got 18,000 or more, because if you're holding on to the token, like I said, the last 2 days, over 14% a day. So you're probably going to have closer to 20,000. That's it. That's nothing else you need to do. When it expires, that's what they call it. When it expires, or your time is up, you're eliminated, is what they say, because it's a gaming. Remember, it's gaming, right? Then you can come back in and say, hey, I have 18,000. Do I want to give another 5,000 to make me put that other 13,000 in my pocket? That's all you have to do. Totally passive. You don't ever have to say anything to anyone. But if you're like me and you like to share good news with others, they do reward you for that. And I want to share this with you because this is absolutely phenomenal. We do have a direct and indirect referral rewards program. If you refer this to anyone, the first person you refer it to is considered your first generation. You're going to get 10% every single day of what they earn. So for example, if you refer and A purchases a 5,000 quantum mining machine, A is going to receive 50 units every day, right? $50 worth or 50 USDT worth of Pi every day. You're going to earn 5 units. So that's 50 U times 10%, right? You're getting every single day just because you shared the good news with others. Now, that person may go out, say you shared it with me, and I go out and I share it with my cousin Marcus. You don't even know my cousin Marcus, but Marcus becomes your second generation. You'll get an additional 4% as long as you refer 2 people yourself. And if my cousin Marcus refers it to his girlfriend, you don't even know his girlfriend, she becomes your third generation, you'll get an additional 2%. And now, if you didn't know my cousin Marcus and you didn't know his girlfriend, you certainly won't know her mom. And if her mom does it, then you're going to get another 2%. And so on and so forth. But it's only right. You started it. You went out and you shared it with me. And I have a big mouth, so I'm definitely going to share it with others, right? So there you go. That's how you get some additional passive kind of rewards, because you only shared it with one person. And every single day, you're getting rewards from whatever we get. So that's really, really powerful. But if you think that's powerful, you might want to share it and start a community. If you start a community building, you can get to these ranks, different ranks. And this is where I really want those that are on here. I know some of you who are on here that are community builders to really pay attention, because what I'm going to share with you right now is literally going to blow you away. When I saw this and I understood that they could not make any changes, they couldn't, finagle with anything, I said, I'm in, because my community deserves this. And I'm going to share with you. Let's say that you say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and you grow organization, excluding your biggest leg, to over 20,000, you're going to get 5% every day of that entire organization. Now, I want you to think about this, because somebody said to me, well, gosh, 20,000 seems like a lot. I want you to take out a calculator right now, and I want you to put 20,000 in there, and I want you to divide that 20,000 by, let's say everybody got a $2,000 miner. I want you to tell me how many people is that in your whole community, in your whole organization. That's right, guys, it's 10. 10 people. 10 people only. They got $2,000 miner. You're now a V1, and you're getting an extra 5% a day of that whole organization, of that whole 20%. Guys, 20,000. Now, once you're able to do that, and you're able to teach 2 other people to do the same thing, you become a V2 and you get an additional 10%. When you teach those 2 people to do what you just did, become a V2, you become a V3, you get 20, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 50%. Now, there's one thing that I want to share with you, that when you do teach the people that you bring in how to become V1, V2, you do need to subtract out their thing from yours. But it's all good, because now you have more volume, more organization, you're growing more community. So for example, if you're a V5 and you directly refer A, and A becomes a V4, and B becomes a V3, then you're eligible to receive 40 minus 30, 10% on Team A's earnings. And then the same thing, you're going to have the B becomes a V3, and you're a V5, you're going to take 40 minus V3 minus 20. So you're going to get 20% off of that organization. And it's only fair. You're helping to build them, and it's only fair that you get that. Now, here's the other beautiful thing. If you do end up at V5 and you have another V5 break, they're still going to give you 5%. Not going to totally cut you off of that. Same thing at V6, you're still going to get 5%. Now, you might say, well, gosh, Marshawn, that sounds good. I really don't know what those percentages mean. Let's talk real money, people. Let's talk some real money. Now, let's start at the beginning. At the beginning, let's say you're a V1 and your organization is just 50,000. Again, you might say, well, gosh, 50,000 seems like a lot. I want you to take 50,000 in your calculator and divide the 50,000 by 2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 25 people. Do you believe that you and your entire community can bless 25 people? To have 25 people want to put their money to work for them and make money in a very fair environment that has only been mining for 4 days, meaning they have the exact same as all of us. Everybody can get tokens and make money. So let's say you got it to 50,000 at 0.7%, because let's say that everybody is mining. I'm going to go with the lowest, which is the 500. Let's say 0.7%. That's 350. You're getting 10%. That's $35 a day. $35 a day times 30 days is almost over $900 a month. If there's absolutely no appreciation, you're making over $900 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely appreciation. I just shared with you that. So I'm going to show you what that means. Over time, is it only fair that this 50 is going to eventually turn into 100? When it turns into 100 at 0.7%, you're getting that's $700 in your whole community that's earning every day. You get 10% of that. That's $70 a day. 70 times 30 is $2,100. How many can use an extra $2,100 coming into your household every single month? If it appreciates just 25%, that's $88. $88 times 30 is $2,600. How many guys okay with that? Guys, over time, I'm not saying this is going to happen tonight, tomorrow. I'm saying over time, is it only fair that your organization is going to continue to grow, because people are going to be hearing about how fair, and that they don't have to ask anybody for withdrawal, and 100% of the liquidity is locked for 10 years, that this thing is going to be around, that it eventually is going to grow to 500. Once it grows to 500, let's say you're at the V3 level, and 0.7%, that's 3,500 in your organization are earning every day. you're going to get 15% of that. And we went down to 15 because you're going to have some V2s in your organization, some V1s. So we want to be conservative. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $525 a day. How many of you guys can use an extra $525 every day? Multiply that by 30. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about over 15,000 per month, and you hardly did anything. 500,000. I want you to go back to that top number. I want you to divide that 500,000 by 5,000. That's literally only finding 100 people in the entire world. You and your whole organization finding 100 people in the entire world that want to put $5,000 of work for them. Many of us have been in things, and we've grown those organizations to well into the millions of dollars. So 500,000 is not hard to do over time. But if the coin appreciates just 50%, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about $788 every single day that comes into your wallet. Nobody can stop it. It's already programmed in the smart contract. They can't say, whoa, Daryl's making too much money today. Let's cut off him. No, ladies and gentlemen, admin keys abandoned. It's going to come every day. You can't stop it. $788 times 30, that's over $23,000 a month. And we're just getting started. 100 people in the whole world that put 5,000. You might say, well, gosh, Marshawn, I don't know people that do 5,000. Let's even go down to the lowest, 500. Divided by 500. We're talking about 1,000 people in the entire world. You and your whole community. See what I'm saying, guys? It's going to happen. I'm not going to even go up to the million, the 5 million. You guys can see those numbers. You can play around with these numbers. All I'm saying is we have a lot of people that we need to bless, and it's time to do it now. While we're at the early stages, while this thing is taking off, why it's still at $1.50. And you might say, well, gosh, Marshanda, why are you so high on this particular token? That the tokenomics just work, guys. Anytime you want to go and transfer your token to someone, you can do that. There's a 3% transfer token fee. And that goes, and I'm going to share with you how the destruction of this is a good thing. Okay. When you go and you want to go to Pancake Swap and you want to swap it out, there's a 5% withdrawal fee. No, this is a 5% claim fee. When you claim it, there's a 5% claim fee. 2.5% goes to those of us that got in on 1.0. 2.5% goes to technical operations. And that technical operations, they cannot, I'm going to share this with you in a second when I go through all the phases and where the money is at. It's not just dumped into people's laps so that they can, again, dump it on your head. It is a slow over 40-month period. I'm going to show that with you. The slippage, 5% is destroyed. When you go to Pancake Swap and you swap out, you have to put the slippage in there. 5% goes directly, of those coins are directly burned. The other 5% goes to that technical operations to get the gaming and all the NFTs and all of that stuff together. But I'm going to share with you, they can only, on the technical operations side, they're getting those tokens over 40 months, 2.5%. So they're not getting like, bam, okay, I'm going to get this whole 1,000 or a million. So it's really a very fair thing. Again, the burning mechanism, 5% of the tokens are burnt. Every time you sell 1,000 tokens, 50 tokens are burned. So we're okay. Burn them, because guess what? Remember I told you it was deflationary, meaning that it's going to be less and less over time. The more tokens we take out of the ecosystem, the more valuable they become. As mining continues to grow, that is going to help to raise the price of the token. 70 million in issuance. It started on September 9th at 0.001. I'm going to take you live in a second and you can see where we're at. 50 million are set into Pancake Swap. 10 million went to those in 1.0, are set aside for those, meaning over time we can get those out, but it's not dumped in anybody's. They don't have all of these tokens to dump on your head. That's what's sweet about it. Here's what our projections were. They said by the end of the year, we were going to be at 10 cents. I already shared with you that we're at $1.53 already. They thought that they wouldn't be to $1 into the second quarter. We're already at $1.50. They're talking about $10 will be the fourth quarter of next year. Guys, $10 could probably come up by the first quarter of next year. So what does that mean for you? That means if you purchase a mining package today, say you purchase a $5,000 mining package today, and you start mining tokens at $1.50, if it goes up to $10, how much more have you made by just getting started now? By just getting started now. So let me go out and share with you live ave.ai. I think it is here. Go here. Oh, Mary. Make sure you guys are seeing my screen. Everything is in real time. You can see anybody that's exchanging, anybody that's not. Here's the current price, $1.58. I'm going to put this whole link so you can go and check it out yourself. And if on the phone, you can see a lot more. You can see all the checkpoints that I told you about. Here on the computer, it's a little bit less. All of the checkpoints that I showed you about the admin throwing away the key is all there. But most important here is that you see the pool, that it tells you here that it's locked. It is locked. And you click here, it's going to tell you that it is locked from August 18th to August 17th of 2033. They cannot go in and take the money out. And it's locked by UNCX. Remember, I told you the same ones that lock the liquidity for Ethereum. So that is really great comfort. And then I'll go down and show you some of the, you can see some of the packages coming in, $500. You can see here, this is where you can see the $500 packages coming in. These are people testing the system, like, oh, let me see if I can get out $30 or $40, right? Not a whole lot. And then you can come in here and see. My friend, I sent this to one of my friends and I said, hey, I want you to take a look at this. And he's like a person that analyzes a lot of things. He's like, well, I don't understand why, if the price has went so high, are people not selling? Are people not selling? I said, because people understand that 100% of every package price goes in there. And you can't buy this. See, 100% a buy tax, meaning if you try to go and buy it, those tokens will get burned. And you're not going to get them. The only way you get tokens is if you mine them. And I said, he's like, I don't get it. Why are people not selling? I said, there's some sales, but everybody that's smart knows that this thing is going up at a rate of 14% a day, that they're holding on to it. Now, listen, we teach when in profit, take some profit. So we want you to take some profit. We want you to say, okay, I'm going to do the 80-20. I'm going to, take out 80%, sell 80%, and I'm going to keep 20 over time, or 60-40 or 50-50, whatever your lifestyle can hold. But as you see, this thing is on an upward trajectory. And every time this one here is a big buy. Somebody bought a $5,000 package earlier. I was watching that one. Every time somebody buys a package, 100% of the money goes in here. Unlike we've been in programs where people buy things and we don't even know where the money is at. We're just sending it to some, to some centralized site and praying that these people are going to do what they say they were going to do. Here, you don't have to do that. We are the DAO of this, and so everything is here, and that's what's cool about it. So with that being said, I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys can take a look at that. My time on this is up. If there's somebody that would like to, that have been in the program for a little bit and want to share, we're open to hearing from you. When I say been in the program for a while, well, we've been mining for a whole 4 days now. But if anybody would like to share their experience and where they're at, I'm going to do this. Mr. Bembry, I'm going to turn your video off because I see you're moving about. So if anybody has any thing that they would like to share, we're open for that. Any comments? Okay, if not, we're just about wrapped up, guys. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off for you. Again, just to go through again how this works. You start off with a decentralized wallet. You purchase a mining machine. 100% of those funds go into the pancake swap, into the liquidity. You'll start mining and earning between 0.7 and 1% a day. You'll acquire tokens and you can swap them out for USDT on Pancake Swap. After that, you're activated, your rewards are fully redeemed. They'll go back into your wallet. You can purchase another machine after it's, after it's fully done. Let's say it's fully redeemed. Your 5,000 is now 18,000. It's time to buy another one. You just do the cycle over and over and over again. Or you can stop. It's up to you. Again, it's 100% decentralized. No one controls what you do in this particular program. So with that being said, the only thing I would say is get back to the person that invited you here. I'm going to stop the recording and I'll answer some questions from our guests. If you have any questions, I do want to thank many of you for jumping on today. The best thing that I could tell you to do is to get started, because seriously, in 5 months from now, you're going to say one or two things. I'm so glad I did, or I wish I had. I'm so glad I got started and I start getting these tokens at $1.50. Or in 5 months from now, you're going to say, darn it, they're $10. I wish I had started back then when they shared this with me. I may not know all the information, but I'm smart enough to see that if I get started now and start mining tokens at $1, when it gets to $10, I'm way ahead of the game. I don't need to know all the ins and outs. I just buy a mining machine and it starts working for me as soon as I buy it. That's it. So get back to the person that invited you. Tell them you're ready to get started and you can earn while you learn.